Welcome back to the Purple Rain podcast as the countdown to Worlds is well and truly on its status. November 6th is opening day of the World Championships, which of course will run all the way through to November the 16th. So it's about what, roughly 10 days? Near about, yeah, 10 days of that. It's honestly, it will go by really quick because obviously, you know, the knockouts between the 13th, yeah, so it's gonna go real quick, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so to get you all hyped up, ready for the World Championships in Denmark this year, we are going to be giving you 10 episodes full of team previews to work your appetites up for the World Championships coming in Denmark this year. And we're going to do it by group. So we'll do all Group A first, and then we're going to do Group B second. Yeah. So we're starting with Group A. What we're going to do in each episode, we're going to give you just our general thoughts about the team. We're going to give you our thoughts on how we think they might fare in Denmark. And we're going to use their previous international competition as the baseline. Yeah. So, we start in Group A. And we are starting with our nation. USA is Team USA. They're going into this year's tournament as not only defending Olympic winners, so they're defending Olympic champion, yeah, but also defending winners of last year's Worlds. Yes, because obviously last year in Czechia, Team USA won the gold. They went undefeated in last year's World Championships. Yeah, Team USA's not lost an international competition since the 2024-25 Rugby Series, yeah, which concluded before Worlds last year. So the USA is on a real hot streak right now, which is really good because we should enjoy it, guys. Because when Canada gets back on their form, they're gonna take it off us and probably not let it go because they don't want to give the Yags another opportunity to win the gold and rub it in their faces. Yeah. Most Canadians do know how to rub it in faces. We're more gracious. I know. I mean, look at 2010. Yeah, look at 2010 for example. Yeah. So I kind of feel going into this tournament, given how the groups are now balanced, I can't see a reason why Team USA would not be the overall, you know, group winners. I mean, if we look at our group, it's very much an all European group. Yeah. And they're all quite next door neighbourly with one another. I'm just going to get our group up now. Just to remind me. It's going to be a bit weird not being in a group with Canada for the first time in probably forever, maybe. Was that serious, or were you quoting my favourite Disney film? No, serious. yeah, because obviously Canada is in Group B with the majority of the Scandinavians. And Japan, yes. Yeah, so TSA is in Group A with Czechia, Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. Now, I think of those five, I think Czechia might be the better, and maybe Swiss as well off the back of that bronze medal. They're probably the ones that might give us the best run for money. Yeah, but I can't see any right now. I can't see why TSA would not be seen as the favourites to, at the very least, top the group. Especially if you have the net manager of Frankel and Philips, because those two were just unstoppable. I mean, the fact that Gwen Phillips, she only got one game, but she didn't let a goal in that game. No, she didn't. We made the smart move of putting Gwen Phillips in for Switzerland and then have Frankel go for Canada the next day. Whereas Canada did not make that smart move. They moved with their easy game the night before us. They kept Despier and then put us in their game against us, and of course that did not go on. Yeah. But Frankel, I think those two goals that she did concede in Cortina, she probably would like to have those back. Yeah. Oh yeah. Particularly if they won the gold medal game, that pretty much took us all by surprised, yeah. Because as I said plenty times, the gold medal game went so fast. Yeah. It was kind of a blink and you miss kind of affair. Yeah. It really was. It really was. You just couldn't take your eyes off that game. But yeah. And I'm really excited for TSA. It'd be interesting to see who gets on the roster. Because obviously, I'm not sure many people probably thought maybe some of the draft picks in 2025 would get on the roster so easily, even though they had been on the TSA's roster in the run-up to getting drafted last year. Yeah. Because obviously, Gilday did play in the Rivalry Series in 2024-25 before she got drafted to compete at top. As also did Leah Edwards as well, who of course was 2026's draft class. Yeah. So so don't be surprised if you see young prospects get put on the USA roster because they might be the PHR in the future. No, those two public examples. Yeah, absolutely. But I think we will have that good combination of the veterans and young prospects. Something that other teams haven't really got that gelled down right. Right, yeah. I mean, because if you look at the USA's performance in Milan Cortina, it was that combination of the veterans and the young guns on display that obviously helped get us over the line. At the end of the day, that's what helped get us over the line. As well as staying up money. So if all that comes to play again in Denmark, then I could easily see, because I think we'll also handle Germany very well. I mean, I think we're still a bit. We're not too sure about Germany. No. What do you think about Austria? How do you think we'll fare against Austria? It's tough one, because obviously Austria and Denmark, we've got no clue what they're going to be like, because obviously they were in Division 1A last year, which meant that we did not get the opportunity to see what they were like. So, I think you'd look at Austria and think that might be an easy game. Yeah. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, for all we know, Austria could probably end up surprising because I'm still like literally. I mean, I think me and are both still stunned by what happened. In Division 1A this year, because going into Division 1A this year, nobody saw France, especially how France performed in Milan Cortina. Nobody saw France coming, and no one saw them winning that outright, and obviously winning the promotion to the top tier next year. So even though we will be using all these previous, most recent international appearances as an example, as the baseline, you might see a completely different to them on paper when we get to the games in question. So I think that's what makes it really exciting. But I can't see USA not dominating. No, I can't. Honestly, I cannot see USA not dominating. In Denmark, I just can't. No, I can't. And of course, Amanda George, the Germany game. Oh god, it's gonna be on your birthday. Bloody hell. I don't celebrate it. Are we the 2 p.m. start or 6 p.m. start? 2 p.m. time. Damn it! Damn it! Yeah. This should be a good thing now. You get to have women's hockey on your birthday every year now. It should be a good thing. You think it should be a good thing, but I don't celebrate. I don't celebrate it, so. Yeah. Yes, our match against the USA's match against Germany will be on my birthday. Yes, thank you for reminding the boys and girls that lady. I bet you on mine again. We do the Germany preview later on but yeah. But I honestly do feel really good about USA going into Denmark. Which I don't know if we can set up this time last year. Well, obviously, I guess last year USA just recently lost the 2024 Worlds. Didn't do well the Rivalry Series. So you think that one Canada's probably got the best shot of winning it, and yet USA it was almost like they turned a gear. For me, Czechia last year was kind of like the turning point for Team USA. And this was the moment when they were going to really turn up good and become this powerhouse nation that we all expect the US to be. But obviously they've been lacking that the last few go-rounds. Because obviously everyone thought in Beijing this team was going to do the double. And then it got to the final match and it just didn't really impress out. No, Canada found a way to really rebound after Pyeongchang. And we sort of found a way to rebound after Milan Cortina. Yeah. So you got to go back to Canada's heyday, the 2010, 14, 2010, 2014, when they're doing doubles. And of course, obviously they won 2 before that, but obviously I wasn't involved back then. Because I've been involved since 2010. Yep. So I think the pressure's on USA because I think I'm interested. The fact we've not got to be in a group with Canada. Yeah. That for me feels like we're not going to have really like a big test. No, until potentially the knockouts. Yeah. Because it's most likely that USA will win Group A and Canada will win Group B. So nowhere will these two teams meet each other in the quarters or the semis. Yeah. You're looking at that medal matchup, which everyone's going to expect to be the gold medal match, to be where you'll see USA and Canada. Yeah. That could be interesting. And I think we might bring that up again when we can talk about Canada in Group B. We do Group B previews. Yeah. Because literally, the USA can easily take on Austria and Germany, and Czech and Switzerland, while they would give USA a good run for their money, I could see those as wins as well. Yeah. So, no offense to the other 4 nations, but you look at Group A, you think there's nobody really in there who could really challenge and throttle the Americans. Whereas in Group B, they could. Because you've got Canada in there, Sweden in there, and Finland in there. Now, Sweden and Finland are the 2 nations you think, along with Czechia, who you think are going to be on the rise in the years ahead. But, unfortunately, those 3 right now, they're still nowhere near ready. But, so a lot of the nations that probably could rattle the US, they're all in Group B. So, the USA's not probably going to see them until potentially a knockout round, or dare I say, the medal round. And I'll be interested to see how that affects the mentality going into knockouts. Like, we see it playtime on the men's side. Yeah. Oh yeah, we see it playtime on the men's side where USA just really go into the group stages. They're so bolstering full of confidence, and then gets to the knockouts, and then they go straight out. You pick up Beijing. Well, it's the perfect example because obviously in Beijing, the men's US team walked the group. They get Slovakia in the quarterfinals. Everyone expects to beat Slovakia easily. And what happens? No, Slovakia takes the US out. In what was a bloodbath. Because a lot of favourites in those quarters all went out. It was a bloodbath in Beijing from the men's side. Yeah, so I'd be interested to see how do the US, how do they handle that mentality of you're not really going to be probably tested until you get to like those knockouts medal stages. I'm interested to see how that fares. But like I say, if you keep Philips and Aaron Frankel in tow, that be your tandem, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem because you know you've got a rock steady, reliable tandem who knows what it takes to win on both the world stage and the Olympic stage. Yeah, because remember that was the tandem in 2020. Yes, they've been a tandem since pretty much the 2025 Worlds. Yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Rather good on for them. They've obviously proved why they should be and they've earned it. But yeah, so I've got no problem with those 2 being in the net because they did absolutely brilliant on Cortina. They've done really well with their expected PHR team. So obviously Aaron Frankel with Boston and with Philips in Ottawa. In fact, Aaron Frankel became the first net minor to win the league MVP trophy during the awards. Where Philips been nominated for goaltender of the year twice now. Would you say she's the new Aaron Frankel? And keeps losing to the better netminder? I don't want to say it, but we'll see. If she gets a 3rd nomination next season, then probably yeah. Because to me, I looked at the goaltender year category and always being Aaron Frankel should get it, but I'm not surprised with who then did get it, because obviously in season 1, Kristen Campbell was the better net miner, in season 2, and it just was the better net miner in that category. And I just felt like this year, it was Aaron Frankel's turn, because she had just an incredible season, not just with the fleet, but also on the international stage as well. I mean, she was a huge factor into how we got that goal medal. She played absolutely well. Yes, she did let 2 goals in, but there was only 1 goal in the groups and 1 goal in the medal match. So it was really, she might have put a lot of shutouts in that tournament. Even though both the Swiss and the Italians kept us off the board for quite a fair amount of time. Yeah! Well, I thought what was interesting about Switzerland, we'll talk more about what we do Switzerland, is how even our Cortina, they were able to keep their opponents at bay for a good period of time before the floodgates opened. And we also saw that in our quarterfinal matchup with Italy, because even though it was like, what was it, 5-0? Yeah. Even though the other day it was a 5-0 shutout win for us, it didn't feel like that at the start. It took a while for the US to really find a rhythm. So I think that will be something to keep an eye out for going into the tournament. Is you might see, particularly that in some of these group games, you might see, particularly in the first period, where the US, they're getting their early chances, but they're not finding ways to get them in the back of the net, and it takes like the start of the second period for the floodgates then to open. That I could see happening, especially as we've got no idea how we're going to fare against Austria. But yeah, so I think we could maybe see more of that might happen as the tournament goes on, and that might be a trend that we see from the Olympics across into the Worlds. But all in all, I have really good high hopes for Team USA going into the Worlds in Denmark. And I'm interested to see what roster we put forward. Will we put any draft picks from this year's draft class, or will it be a similar roster to what we had this year? Yeah, because obviously Leah Edwards, as we mentioned, is now drafted early. She's with Sarza, she's with Sarza, so could we see us get on the roster again? Could there be any other maybe picks from 2026 on the US side that could be sneaking? It's hard to tell. It's so hard to tell, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Honestly, I'm feeling really good about the US going into the World, which is good, because there's going to be, as Leigh says, there's going to be a lot of pressure on our shoulders. Yeah, because we're reigning champions. We're both reigning world champions and reigning Olympic champions. Now, of course, Olympic crowd we don't swear that for another 4 years, but it would be really good if we could keep this momentum going on the world stage and get a few more world medals under our belts, and that would put us in a really good step going into the French House, and people would see US as they're a serious player. Yeah. Rather than it being like a once in a blue moon, which kind of what Pyeongchang kind of felt, because obviously basically we then kind of regressed. But you could argue Kirby might also playing it. Yeah. Maybe. Because Canada did win the last Worlds before Beijing. Yeah. So that should have been a telltale sign, but of course we weren't involved. But no, but honestly, I'm going to enjoy it. I do feel really good about the US going into. They've got very good chance, but we'll see what happens. Okay. So there you go. So that is team preview for Team USA. Like I said, we're going to be here with all 10 teams. Yeah, and we're doing it in groups. We're doing Group A first, which of course is our group, and then we'll move on to Group B. Okay. So there you go. So thank you so much for joining us for this Team USA World Championships preview. We will see you on the next one. And until next time, take care.